Hey loves, it's Angelica. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Angelica. I post videos twice a week all about growing long, healthy, natural hair. And sometimes, like today, I post a little bonus video, just something different that you guys might enjoy. And a lot of you requested I do a video on how I save money after I posted the video about how I quit my job. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how I save money and how I was able to save an entire year's salary before I quit my job. I always save the bonus for the end, but today I am starting with the bonus tip. You need to figure out why you want to save the money, because if you have no reason, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to do it. Do you want to save just to save so you can have money in the future? Are you saving for something like a specific thing? Do you want to be rich? Also, aside from knowing what you want to do with the money, you actually need to know how much money you want. You don't need to know a specific number. But when you ask most people, like, if I could give you any amount of money right now, how much do you want? Everyone's like, I want $1 million. Sure, $1 million is nice. Do you actually think you can manage to get $1 million? Because if you don't think you can actually save $1 million, let alone make $1 million, then it's going to be very difficult. So you need to be realistic. If $1 million is realistic for you and you think you can manage to do whatever you can to save $1 million, then go ahead and do that. If it's $1,000, if it's $100, if it's $5,000, whatever that amount is for you, that should be your goal. Set a goal, know how much you want, whether it's short term or long term, and then we can go from there. So the first thing I do to save money is I check my bank account at least once a week. Usually it's even 3 times a week, but at least once a week is a good enough amount. And this is because I know that a lot of us can tend to ignore your account. You're just like, if I can't necessarily see the number, I know it's fine. I can afford a meal, I can afford whatever. You will not know how much money is in your account until you get the message that you've overdrafted or something like that. I always make a point to know exactly how much money is in my account to a T, so that if I get any unnecessary bank charges or something where it's just a tiny bit of money that you wouldn't even notice, I will notice it. Okay, I always know exactly how much is in my account. Also, it's easy for me to remember if I spend something, whether it's a big amount or a small amount, because I'm always aware of how much is in my bank account. So check your account frequently so that you know where you are with your savings and your spending habits. The next thing is more like a model to live by. I did not create this. Unfortunately, I have no idea where I heard it, but if I find the source, I will write it on the screen, the name of the person who made this quote. But this is, if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. And this is what I do with everything. So let's say you want to buy the new iPhone 13, right? The standard now is like $1,000. If you do not have $2,000, you cannot afford it. So you can only afford it if you can buy it twice. Okay, so if you're saying, oh, now I have something to save for, I really want a new iPhone, you should be saving $2,000. When you hit $2,000, then you can afford the iPhone, not emptying your bank account till there's nothing left so you can buy that little one thing that you saved up for. This does not apply to investments where you have to take out a loan from the bank or something, because if you're buying a house where you have to pay monthly payments or something like that, that is completely different and it doesn't necessarily apply to that. But for simple things, small things like handbags and just like other luxuries that you like, if you cannot buy it twice and you've got more pressing issues, you cannot afford it. The fourth thing seems like one of those little gimmicky things, but it's really true for me. And most people will be like, stop paying for your Netflix, because Netflix, it's like $10 or $15 a month, about rounded up. And if you add this for the whole year, then you figure out that, you've wasted a whole bunch of money. Yeah, that's well and good if you don't really like TV, if you don't really like Netflix, if you don't like that kind of thing. For me, however, I watch TV all the time. Like, it is a passion of mine. It's not something I'm willing to give up. And when I say Netflix, I am just putting this across the board, whether it's Disney Plus, Hulu, paying for your monthly subscription service, like any kind of TV, Amazon TV, whatever kind of TV service, whether it's just streaming, whether it's just internet, I justify paying for that because it's something that I love. What I'm going to reference is eating out. I barely eat out or order in, just buying food from restaurants and stuff like that. And one of the reasons is I personally enjoy cooking and I am extremely picky with food and I hate spending money if it's not worth it. But even then, I would only buy takeout slash order in maybe a maximum of once a week. maximum. And that's like on a hectic month like this month actually, where everything's just crazy. There's lots of packing to do and a lot of stuff like that. So it's just literally out of my hands. And most times I could literally go 3 months without ordering anything out or ordering in. That also counts for buying drinks. I do not buy drinks like buying a Coke or a soda when you're out. Like I don't buy anything like that. If I'm really thirsty, I'll buy a bottle of water, but most of the time I move with my own water, so I don't have to buy a bottle. I also don't buy, well, we don't really have a Starbucks here, but like if you buy Starbucks coffee every day, I would suggest that you save up, invest a little bit of money into something like an espresso, and you can start making your own coffee at home. And then on maybe once, twice a week, you could go ahead and get yourself a Starbucks. Then that would be your Netflix. That's something that takes so much money that you wouldn't even realize how much you're spending on food and drinks. Also, I never pay delivery charges. Like if I am really hungry and I'm like, I want to order in, and the delivery charge is almost the same price or like half the price of the meal that I'm going to order, I'm making myself a sandwich, okay? It's not that great. I haven't found a place that's so amazing so far to the point where I'm like, I will do anything to get this meal. Because again, I cook pretty well, so it doesn't, it doesn't faze me that much. So the next tip is that I shop in bulk only for things that I know I will always buy. So if I find something like granola, I eat granola or maybe yogurt almost every day. So if I find a deal where it's cheaper for me to buy 6 at once and I can keep them in the fridge, then I will go ahead and do that, and I will save up because I know whether I get the deal or not, I'm gonna go and buy that yogurt, okay? So I have to make sure that however I work around it, if there's a deal for getting something in bulk, I am going to do that. Not getting to the extent of the people of like extreme couponing, because time is money, okay? And we're not gonna do that, although it does seem very enjoyable to me. The next thing is I pay all my bills first. As soon as I get paid by YouTube, or let me just say at the end of the month, I don't want to start thinking and dividing like, oh, if I want to get myself lunch today, if I want to get myself a little treat, do I have to start thinking about the bill and whatever? Like, no. Most people have some kind of bill, okay? Even if you're a teenager, you probably have a phone bill, or if you owe anyone money. As soon as you get your money, as soon as the money hits your account, get rid of all your bills first and then work with the rest of the money, because that makes a huge difference. And sometimes you overthink how much money you think you have because your bill money is there. So you overspend a little here and there, and then it's time to pay bills and you don't know what to do with yourself. I know that obviously it's hard, but with these tips, I'm assuming you're trying to get better with your bills. And so if you cut back on a few other things and spend more money on things that you actually like, everything's gonna balance out and you'll be able to save more money. So the next tip is I am a sale magnet. I find things on sale everywhere I go. Like literally anything I want. Like I will go to the mall. Like I swear the law of attraction is real. This actually happened like 2 weeks ago. I was with my mom at the mall and she was like, oh yeah, we do need some flour for the house. I literally said, yeah, maybe it's gonna be on sale. And as soon as we walked into the grocery store, right, like the first thing in the front of the store was stacks and stacks of flour on sale. So just keep an eye for things that are on sale. But here is the trick when it comes to sales, okay? Sales are very, very attractive, okay? You find something and it's like 70% off. And you're like, wow, 70% off? You're telling me I could pay $30 instead of $100? I need to buy this. Here's the trick. Only buy things on sale that you would pay full price for, or something specific you've been waiting for. So let's say there's something specific you want. Like let's say you want AirPods. And you're like, okay, I really, really, really want them, but I don't have enough money and I think there's gonna be a sale soon. So I'm just gonna be on watch for the page. I'll keep them in my cart and I'll keep watching and watching and watching. And as soon as they go on sale, I'm gonna buy them. That's fine. The other things though, you have to make sure it's something you'd already buy, whether it's food, chocolate, anything like that. Because if it's something you wouldn't naturally buy, but you only bought it because it sounds cheap because it's on sale, you're actually wasting money. It makes no sense. So if something was $100 and you pay $30 for it, you didn't save $70. You spent $30. However, if something costs $100 and you were gonna buy it anyway, whether it was still $100, now you've saved the $70 because you're still gonna pay for it if it wasn't on sale. Which leads me to my next point, which is I focus on strategic sales. So every year I wait for Black Friday, and this year, like I said, I'm a sale magnet. The law of attraction brings the sales to me. my birthday is on Black Friday. Can you just imagine that? I'm going to be shopping on my birthday. So what I do is if I have a lot of purchases to make that are a little bit on the pricey side, or like I said, I like to buy things in bulk. So let's say if I'm stocking up on skincare, for me, most of the skincare I like is not available where I live, so I have to order it online. So instead of paying shipping multiple times for individual things, I order in bulk at once. So I pay for shipping for one box and then I get it done. So Black Friday, I buy all my Christmas presents for everyone. Any little treats I wanted to get for myself, anything I wanted to treat myself for that I think might be on sale on Black Friday, I will wait for Black Friday. When it comes to things like Victoria's Secret, I've done 2 hauls on here. You guys know how obsessed I am with Victoria's Secret. I will wait for the semi-annual sale and order a bunch of things at once instead of paying full price and probably paying triple the price for something I would already buy because I really love it. You just have to have a little bit of patience, and to be honest, patience on its own could be its own bonus tip because you're not going to have money overnight. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and have $1 million in your bank account, okay? It's gradual. It's a gradual thing. You learn as you go, and then all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're like, oh, I can't believe I saved that much. Okay, so this next tip is like a power tip. This is one of the tips I would say, could it be the best tip? It might be the best tip. This is one that just took my saving to the next step and made me be able to save an entire year's salary before I quit my job. And this is to create a threshold for yourself in your bank account. I would recommend you don't keep this money in cash because it's very easy to spend money in cash. Just do this in your bank account. And this is to keep elevating your bank balance and making a new number your new zero or broke every single month. So let's say you have $5,000 in your bank account right now, and you're like, I want to have $20,000. What you're going to do is every single month, you are going to make your new threshold, your new zero, a certain number. So let's say you have $5,000 and after you pay your bills and whatever, like somehow you're able to save $2,000 this month, right? So these are random numbers, by the way. It could be $200, it could be $20, it could be $20,000. This tip will work for wherever you are. It's just a number that you can make for yourself. So let's say your new zero is $2,000. You spend and do whatever you want. Next month, you can make it $2,200. That's your new zero. Every single month, you keep adding a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. So maybe at the beginning of January, you had $2,000 in your bank account. By December, your new zero should be like $5,000. That's your new zero. So every time you spend, you've got something to buy. You're like, oh, I just saw this new pair of shoes that are amazing. They cost $200 and I know they're expensive, but I really need them. You look at your bank account and you've got $3,000 and that's your new zero. You're broke. You can't afford them. You're going to have to wait till next month. Okay, so you have to do that, and that is what I did. I kept doing that, and I kept upping the amount of money of my balance, and I kept upping it and upping it, and I was amazed when I reached the point where I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I actually did this. Like, it's not that easy, but I have to think about it as, I think I've seen a meme where they say there's two kinds of drivers. I do not drive, so I can't relate. But if I could drive, I know what kind of person I would be. So they say there's two kind of drivers, right? There's one kind of driver when your gas tank reaches halfway, you're like, oh no, I've got no gas, I need to go and load up. And then the other person has no gas and the red light goes on and you're like, I know my car, okay? I know my car. It can still move a little bit more. So you have to choose which one you want to be. I'm personally the kind of person who has no gas when it reaches half tank, okay? And that leads me to my next point. I do not have a car. Now, this is like the Starbucks Netflix tip. This will only make sense for you if it makes sense for you. I work from home. I barely go out, and we've been in quarantine for a very long time, okay? So even a short distance, like everywhere where I can go, I can walk or I can get a cab. So for me, it doesn't make any sense for me to get a car right now. Would be a liability. It's going to be sitting there most of the time. I'm going to be paying insurance. I'm going to be paying for maintenance and all these other little charges. And it's going to be more expensive just to keep the car than for me to get taxis. However, if you have a job that requires you to go to work every single day and it's a far distance where you can't use public transport, like you have to get a cab and it would be more expensive, then it makes sense for you to have a car that is light on gas that can take you to work or wherever you have to go. And having a car right now would just be nice for me to be like, oh yeah, a car would be nice. I can afford a car. I can buy a car right now, today, if I wanted one. But It makes no sense. It's just a liability. It's literally wasting money. So until I find the need to move around every single day a lot and I need a car, then I'll buy one. The next tip is also an amazing tip, and it might seem like, how is this going to save me money? But this is more like a future proof plan. And this is, I try my best to take care of my health by eating as healthy as I can, drinking a lot of water, getting some movement in my body, even if it just means going for a walk in the morning. And this is taking care of my health. Taking care of your health is actually going to save you a lot of money, because even if you think like, oh, getting a healthier option of something might be slightly more expensive, and I'm not talking about going all super organic and on a specific farm with nutrients. No, I'm just talking about basic, as healthy as you can, okay? If you eat extremely unhealthily and you have a very unhealthy lifestyle, you drink a lot, you smoke a lot, you literally do not care about your health at all, in the next couple years, maybe not now, maybe 10, 20 years, when you get hit with like, sugar problems, diabetes, lung issues, it is extremely expensive. You're gonna have to force yourself to find money or take out loans to pay for your medical bills, and that's going to be very expensive. And I know that some certain things are unavoidable. You could be the healthiest person in the world and you could still get hit with cancer and stuff like that, and that is unexplainable, especially if it runs in your family. However, you can still minimize the chances of you getting sick and having those medical bills, because sometimes medical bills just add up. You might just be really stressed. You could have passed out. You're really stressed. You have to pay for the ambulance fee. You have to pay for a lot of things. So I'm not talking about saying like, oh, whether I do this or not, okay, I have this disease. It doesn't matter what you have. It's still the best option for you to take care of your health. If you want more money saving tips from me, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what your favorite tip was from this video. Let me know what your favorite personal money saving tip is as well. I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!